morning. My name is William Poth, and I'm so incredibly grateful to speak today on behalf of the class of 2025. First of all, congrats, guys, we did it. We made it to the finish line. Yeah, that's impressive. But we didn't do it alone. Anyone who says they did is probably lying about two things. Number one, did they really do it? And number two, it certainly was not alone. So we have a lot of people to thank. To the friends that cheered us on and gave us a laugh on our toughest days, we thank you. To our parents who stuck by us every step of the way, we thank you. To our teachers who challenged us to grow as learners every day, even when Wordle seemed to be the most productive part of Gold Period, we thank you guys all. You are everything to who we are now. It's true that we're a special class, and it's true that we faced adversity. But it's also true that that's not exactly what defines us. What defines us is how we handled it, how we came together as a class, how we created the high school experience we wanted to live, how we all survived the crazy 4-year roller coaster of high school, and now we get to walk out of the gift shop with our I Survived t-shirts in the form of our finest wizard costumes today. But let's look back a little bit and rewind to see just how we got here. Freshman year, we all got on the ride. It hadn't really started yet, but strangely, that's when the nerves seem to be at their worst. But as soon as you hit that first bunny hill and get that little bit of airtime, you're not thinking as much about what you wore that day or if your phone's falling out of your pocket. We're all in it together now, and the ride keeps going. Sophomore year, we get that fun trip up the big hill. You get to see more parts of the park. You get more freedoms. If you're lucky, you get behind the steering wheel for the first time. Lord knows that's tough. And best of all, you get to see the juniors in front of you dive off the deep end. But the ride keeps going. Junior year, oh boy. Twists, turns, loop-de-loops, corkscrews, anything, you name it, it's there. Sports get serious, clubs get serious, classes get serious, relationships get serious. It's a lot. You get a taste of every part of high school here, and if you're not so lucky, you get a taste of your lunch from before coming up too. It is a lot. But the ride keeps going. Senior year, something strange happens. The turns, they're just as tight. The drops are just as fast, but something strange happens. You start to get the hang of it. For once, you're not gripping the harness and the lap bar. You let your hands fly into the air. After 3 years, it's not screams of terror anymore. It's screams of joy. We got this. We've done this. We are finally mastering high school. And just like that, the ride ends. It stops. And it's scary. The screech of the wheels comes to a halt. The wind stops ruffling through your hair. The harness comes off. Eventually, your friends get off the ride, and at one point, your parents will too. It is just you. And even though we just went off a 400-foot drop, it could not be scarier than right now. There's no green arrow telling us where to go. It is just us. And some people stay here forever, but that's not us. That's not today. Because the ironic tragedy of life is that it has to be lived forward, but it only makes sense in reverse. So we can look back on our 4 years on this crazy roller coaster and discover where we go next. First of all, it's time to get off the tracks. Find your passion, find your new set of tracks, and follow them with your entire gut and soul. That is the most important thing. Find tracks that you can enjoy the bumpy ride just as much as you can enjoy the destination, because the end is exactly that, the end. It's just as fun as it sounds. Enjoy the ride just as much as the destination, and find tracks sturdy enough that a strong gust of wind, a little bit of self-doubt, and a couple no's along the way isn't enough to knock you off of. Find tracks that will always be there for you. That is the ride we want to be on next. But second, we will fail. Be extraordinary in your failure. Maybe, perhaps, don't adapt the moniker of being an extraordinary failure, but if that's what it takes to get the point across, then do it. You can't tiptoe through life's failures and expect to get through the other side. When you take the biggest drops, you have more momentum than you can ever imagine, and a lot of times, you finish higher than you ever started. But you have to go through it head first, with your hands held proudly in the air with screams of joy. If you are willing to fail more than anyone else is willing to try, you will succeed. And lastly, when you fail and when times get tough, be a bandwagon fan for your joy. Now, what exactly do I mean by that? Perhaps that conjures up images of the Philadelphia Eagles fans that seemed to invade Columbus last Super Bowl, even though they hadn't stepped foot outside of Philly airport. I was one of them. But these people seize their joy. They don't wait for it to come to them. Because in life, there will be drops so steep you cannot see the bottom. Looking up to the crest of someone else's hill may be just what you need to keep going. Life is too short and too lonely to ride every ride. It's too short and too lonely to see every corner of the park. It is too short and too lonely to only celebrate when your name is called. Always keep your identity, but celebrate some Super Bowls around you. There's more joy out there than you think. Seize it. But lastly, class of 2025, if nothing else, know this. We're all human beings with emphasis on those last three letters, that ing, meaning we're being, changing, growing. It's who we are. And when we stop changing, we're nothing. So, stretch that little bit further, jump that little bit higher, find your tracks, stick to them with your entire gut and soul. Be extraordinary in your failure and find beauty and joy outside of your own achievements. In class of 2025, I guarantee you this. If we can spark change in ourselves, I promise when the time is right, we will spark change in the world. Thank you so much. You guys are the best.